Moving on with the practicals here, CIS 276 is practical problem 3.2 ATM. So we're going to continue on with knowing what you know about inputs and outputs. And what you are going to do is code a simple automatic teller machine ATM interaction. Your ATM has several constraints that real ATMs do not have. And for here in chapter 3, these constraints really are here to help you stay focused on what the important parts are. Please, 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 in future chapters, if you want to go totally bananas and way outperform what the requirements are, that's perfectly okay. My challenge to you is here in chapter 3, just to get the job done so that you know how long this kind of procedure is going to take you to do, so that you can more correctly calibrate, the kind of investment that you're going to want to make, the kind of investment that you're going to have to make on future challenge problems, so that you can really make the best use of your time here for our practicals and for obviously how that's going to interact with other classes and other responsibilities. So here, I know, many of you are going to be, that is not the full and complete interaction. I want this to do more. And I really appreciate that. I love that energy. And yes, let's do that later on. Let's just stick to the cues here and make the product and learn a little bit about how long these products are going to take you to actually put together. So here the constraints are, the ATM is going to start with only $500 to give out. Your balance is going to be $1,000. So those are two things that are knowns already when we're going in. The amounts that the ATM can dispense are 40, 80, 200, and 400. So these are knowns going in. Those are not things that you're going to want to deviate from. Once you have entered in the amount that you want to receive, the ATM is going to show you how much money you have left in your bank account, and it's going to show you how much money is left in the ATM itself. Let's just assume that we're living in Mayberry here, that there is nobody who's going to use that information against either you or the machine itself. Let's just work with the constraints so that we can get to the business of how does this go together. So number one, you're going to want to know what you know, or use rather what you know about inputs and outputs to be able to manage this space. I've provided for you a bit of an idea of how you might want your console to look. Remember that in all of the console just refers to the output. Remember that in all of the applications that we are going to develop, there is always going to be some physical analog, a thing that you can touch, a procedure that your end user is going to be familiar with. And the absolute best way to design your application is to mimic the functionality, to mimic the inputs, to mimic the outputs of this physical analog. So someplace out there, you have probably driven by in your lifetime an automatic teller machine outside of a bank. I know that there is one in the student center. And if you can use that physical analog to help you manage what your outputs are going to be, how the user makes an input, what the outputs again are going to be to your user, you are going to find success here. So, inputs, outputs, and from chapter 3, think about things like new lines, tab indices, set width, things of that nature to help you get this done. So this is practical 3.2, automatic teller machine.